What if I told you that the single biggest threat to your health, your energy, and even your safety after the age of 60 isn't what you're eating or how much you're exercising? What if I told you the biggest threat happens quietly every single night around 2 or 3 in the morning, right there in your own bedroom? I'm talking about that all too familiar trip to the bathroom. That moment when you're pulled out of a deep, restful sleep by the urge to go. For many of us, it happens once a night. For others, it's twice, 3 times, or even more. Doctors have a name for it, they call it nocturia. But we're just going to call it what it is. A sleep-wrecking problem that we have been told we just have to live with. Well, I'm here today to tell you that is not the truth. You do not have to just live with it. Because this isn't just a small inconvenience. This is a major problem with serious consequences. Consequences that most of us never even stop to think about. First, let's talk about your sleep itself. Sleep isn't just like turning off a light switch. Your brain and body go through cycles, what some people call the architecture of sleep. You have deep sleep, which is like the body's repair shop. It's when your muscles heal, your immune system gets stronger, and your body physically restores itself. Then you have another kind of sleep called REM sleep. This is the mind's repair shop. It's where you form memories and process the events of the day. Every single time you wake up to pee, you shatter that architecture. You break the cycle. You might only be awake for 5 or 10 minutes, but your body has to start the whole process over again. You get cheated out of that critical, restorative, deep sleep. You are losing hours of quality repair work every single night. Second, and this is something we must talk about seriously, is the risk of falling. It's 2 in the morning. The house is pitch black. You're not fully awake. You're groggy and disoriented. You misjudge a step. You catch your foot on a rug or a piece of furniture you didn't see. A simple trip to the bathroom can turn into a life-altering event. A fall can lead to a broken bone, a broken hip, a long hospital stay, and a loss of independence. This is not a small risk. It is a very real danger that we must eliminate. And finally, there's the price you pay the next day. You wake up feeling tired before you even get out of bed. You don't have the energy you used to. That golf game you were looking forward to feels like a chore. Playing with your grandchildren wears you out in minutes. Your focus is gone. Your mind feels cloudy. This isn't just getting older. This is the direct result of not getting a full night of uninterrupted sleep. And let's not forget our partners. Every time we get up, the bed shifts, the floorboards creak. We're not just ruining our own sleep, we're disturbing theirs as well, night after night. So what's the solution? Many people think, well, the answer is simple, I'll just drink less water. But that's a dangerous trap. As we get older, our bodies need to stay hydrated. Dehydration can lead to a whole host of other problems, like confusion, dizziness, and kidney issues. So starving yourself of water is not the answer. Others just give up. They go to their doctor, and their doctor says, well, it's just a part of getting old. I'm here to tell you that's not an answer, that's an excuse. Saying it's just a part of getting old is like saying a squeaky door is just part of an old house. No, it just means you haven't found the right tool to fix it yet. Today, I'm going to give you that tool. It's not a pill, it's not some expensive gadget, it is a system. A 3-step checklist I call the Nightly Shutdown Protocol. It is a series of simple, logical steps to prepare your body for a long night of deep, uninterrupted sleep. And the first and most powerful step we are going to cover is an incredibly simple physical trick you can do an hour before bed, right on your couch, while you watch TV. It uses the power of gravity to do almost all of the work for you. It costs nothing, and it feels like you're doing nothing at all. But for this amazing trick to work its magic, you absolutely must do it in combination with the other 2 steps in the protocol. So pay close attention, because we're about to put an end to those nightly trips to the bathroom. Let's get into the protocol. Think of this like a pilot's checklist before a long flight. You do the steps in order and you don't skip any. Step number 1 is called the gravity flush. Before I explain the science behind this, let me tell you a quick story about a patient of mine, a gentleman named Robert from Pennsylvania. Robert was in his late 70s and was at his wit's end. He was waking up 3 to 4 times a night, every night. He told me he'd tried everything. He stopped drinking water after dinner. He tried herbal remedies. He even tried prescription medication that just made him feel terrible the next day. He was exhausted and frustrated. He said to me, "Doc, I feel like my own body is betraying me at night." After listening to his story, the very first thing I advised him to do was this one simple technique. Not a pill, not a diet, just this physical adjustment to his evening routine. He was skeptical, of course. It seemed too simple to possibly work after everything else had failed, but he was desperate enough to try. A week later, he called me. For the first time in years, he had only woken up once. By the second week, he was sleeping through the night completely. This one technique was the missing piece of the puzzle for him, and it can be for you too. Here's what you do. About 90 minutes or an hour and a half before you plan to go to sleep, you are going to lie down. You can do this on your bed or on the couch. You are going to take 2 or 3 firm pillows, and you are going to place them under your feet and ankles. The goal is to get your feet elevated significantly higher than the level of your heart. You'll know you're high enough when you feel a very slight, gentle pulling sensation in your legs. And that's it. You just lie there for 20 to 30 minutes. Read a book, listen to the news, talk with your spouse, just relax. Now, a quick but very important word on safety. For the vast majority of men, this is perfectly safe. However, you should stop and discuss this with your doctor first if you have certain conditions. Please be cautious if you have pain or swelling in just one of your calves, as this could be a sign of a blood clot. If you have severe heart failure or get very short of breath when you lie down flat. If you often feel dizzy, have issues with falls, or have been diagnosed with very low blood pressure, or if you have severe nerve damage, what's called neuropathy, in your feet, or any open sores or skin breakdown on your heels or ankles. If any of those sound like you, please check with your doctor first. For everyone else, let's talk about why this works. It's not magic, it's simple science. All day long, as you're sitting, standing, and walking, gravity is pulling down on your body. Fluid, specifically water from your bloodstream, slowly seeps out into the tissues of your lower legs. Your legs, especially your ankles and calves, are like 2 big sponges, and they spend all day soaking up this excess fluid. This is called peripheral edema, which is just a fancy way of saying fluid retention in your legs. If you go to bed with your legs full of this fluid, like 2 waterlogged sponges, what happens? The moment you lie down flat, gravity is no longer holding that fluid in your legs, so all that trapped liquid begins its slow journey back into your bloodstream. Your bloodstream carries it to your kidneys, which do their job and filter it out, turning it into urine. And where does that urine go? Straight to your bladder. Your kidneys are working overtime all night long, and your bladder fills up again and again, sounding the alarm at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and so on. By doing the gravity flush an hour and a half before bed, you are taking control of this process. You are using gravity to your advantage. You are pre-draining those sponges while you are still awake. You are telling your body, let's get this fluid processed now before we go to sleep. After 20 or 30 minutes of elevation, you'll get up, and before you go to bed, you will almost certainly have to use the bathroom. But that's the whole point. You are emptying the tank on your schedule, not in the middle of the night. Now, there are some common mistakes to avoid. First, don't do this 5 minutes before you get into bed. It's too late. The process takes time. You need that full 90-minute window. Second, make sure your feet are actually above your heart. Propping them up on a small footstool isn't enough. You need that upward angle for gravity to do its job. Third, don't bend your knees too much. Try to keep your legs relatively straight to create a clear path for the fluid to travel. That is step 1. It is simple, it is powerful, and it will make a massive difference all on its own. But to make it truly effective, we need step 2. Step number 2 is the final system purge. This step happens right before you climb into bed for the night. You've done the gravity flush, you've processed that extra fluid, and now it's time to make sure the main tank, your bladder, is absolutely, completely empty. As we men get older, another factor comes into play, the prostate. For most of us, the prostate gland enlarges over time. Think of your urethra, the tube that urine flows through, as a garden hose. An enlarged prostate can press on that hose kind of like someone gently stepping on it. This makes it difficult to get all the urine out. A little bit often gets trapped and left behind. It might only be an ounce, maybe 30 milliliters, but that's enough to make you wake up a few hours later. The final system purge is a technique to make sure you get that last little bit out. You may have heard of it as double voiding. Here is exactly how to do it. Go to the bathroom as you normally would. Sit down on the toilet. It is very important to sit, not stand, as this helps relax the pelvic muscles. Don't rush. Take your time and empty your bladder. When you think you are finished, don't immediately get up. Stay sitting for another 20 to 30 seconds. Just relax. Take a few deep breaths. Then stand up for a moment. Finally, sit back down again and try to go one more time. You might be surprised that a little more urine comes out. Why does this work? By standing up and sitting back down, you are changing the position of your bladder and prostate. You are essentially unkinking that garden hose for a moment, allowing the trapped urine to escape. Leaning slightly forward can also help. Think of it like getting the last bit of ketchup out of a bottle. You have to turn it upside down and give it a little shake to get the last bit out. This is the same principle. Common mistakes here are simple. The biggest one is rushing. We're often in a hurry to get to bed, so we don't take the extra minute this requires. Don't rush. The second mistake is not actually standing up. Just shifting around while seated doesn't work as well. The act of standing and reseating is what repositions the bladder effectively. And finally, don't push or strain. This should be a relaxed process. Straining can actually make things worse. So now we've drained the legs and we've fully emptied the tank. We are ready for the third and final step, which is just as critical as the first two. Step number 3 is the intake valve shutdown. This step is all about simple, powerful logic. You cannot effectively drain a system if you continue to pour liquid into it. This is about being smart with what and when you drink. First, let's talk about the big picture strategy. The battle for a dry night actually begins in the morning. Here's a powerful rule to live by. Try to consume about 75% or 3/4 of your total daily fluids before the middle of the afternoon. This includes water, coffee, juice, even the liquid in soup. Front-load your hydration. Think of your body like a busy factory. You want to get most of your raw materials delivered during the busy day shift when everything is running at full speed, not dump it all at the front gate right before the night shift comes on to clean up. Now for the evening rule. Many people will tell you to stop drinking all liquids for 3 or 4 hours before bed. For a lot of us, that's just too long and too difficult. So we're going to use a smarter, more flexible approach. To begin, I want you to set a simple starting goal. No significant liquids for the 2 hours right before you get into bed. A small sip of water to take medication is fine, but no full glasses of anything. Try this for 1 week. If you find you're sleeping soundly through the night, then congratulations. 2 hours is your magic number. You've found what works for you. However, if you're still waking up, I want you to gradually increase that window. The next week, try 2.5 hours. If you still need a little more improvement, push it to 3 hours. The goal is to find the shortest effective time that works for your body. Don't rush. Be patient and listen to what your body is telling you. Of course, just as important as the when is the what. During the hours before your fluid curfew begins, you must avoid what I call bladder agitators. These are coffee and black tea, alcohol, especially beer, and all sodas or carbonated drinks. Think of caffeine as a foreman yelling at your kidneys to work faster. Think of alcohol as a double whammy that speeds up your kidneys while also disabling the natural brakes. And think of sodas as direct irritants that make your bladder feel twitchy. Avoiding these in the evening is non-negotiable. So there you have it, the complete 3-step nightly shutdown protocol. Number 1, the gravity flush. Legs up for 20-30 minutes, 90 minutes before bed. Number 2, the final system purge, the double voiding technique right before you get into bed. Number 3, the intake valve shutdown. Get 75% of your fluids in early and start with a 2-hour no fluid window, adjusting as needed. Now, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, so here is your plan for the first week. For the first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, focus only on step 3. Get your fluid timing right. On Wednesday and Thursday, continue with step 3 and add in step 1, the gravity flush. Then, on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, implement the full 3-step protocol. This is not a magic pill. It's a system that requires consistency. The first night you might see a small improvement. The second night maybe a little more. But your body is learning a new rhythm. You have to give it time. Stick with this protocol for 1 full week, and you will be amazed at the difference. I want you to make a commitment to yourself, a commitment to reclaiming your sleep, your energy, and your safety. I want you to try this, and I want you to come back to this video in 1 week and share your results in the comments section below. Your story, your success, will inspire another man who is suffering in silence to finally take control. Let's create a community of men who have decided they deserve to sleep through the night. This isn't just about avoiding a trip to the bathroom. This is about waking up feeling rested. It's about having the energy to live your life to the fullest. It's about taking back control. You have the knowledge now. You have the plan. Now it's time to put it into action. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks.